Good evening, folks. Mark here in the Fan Cave. It's Saturday, July 29th, 2023, 8:34 p.m. Today I'm going to be talking about a subject that I'm going to deviate away from my normal content. Talk about a subject I don't talk about often, and that's keys. Now, these are the keys to my car and house, and a little keyring with the Subaru Pleiades stars. Now, for those of you who don't know, throughout my childhood, from the time I was knee-high to a grasshopper, all the way until I was in about 4th, maybe 5th grade, I collected keys. And if you ever need proof of my key collection, avert your eyes no further than my workbench. Yeah, I've always enjoyed locks and keys, and I don't so much collect them as really acquire them. I'm not seeking any new ones. Don't really acquire any, maybe some vintage cars or whatever, but like 80s, maybe 90s cars, 70s, but I wouldn't say no to them, that's for sure. But I have acquired a few new ones over the years, new keys, but mostly the vehicles that I've owned and then only turned in one set. But I digress. It's taken me a while to really, I've kept this under wraps for a long time. A very select few people know that I've collected keys. Some old friends that I've known, that I grew up with, might have remembered when I was a kid or whatever, but, I always had a big wad of keys in my hand wherever I went. And, over the years, been a little apprehensive to discuss it, because my reasoning for that is that I figured if anybody were to, if there were, I don't know, like burglaries in the area or something, and they found out I had a whole bunch of keys, this is something that criminals do. They'll have a whole bunch of house keys, whatever, or car keys, and try them in every door, and now security measures have rendered that system obsolete. But the more I thought about it, though, I decided not to really come forward and disclose my old childhood key collection to anybody, except, like I said, a very few people that I've spoken to over the years. I didn't want to seem suspicious, but then it occurred to me, all I'd have to do is contact anybody, any of the neighbors I had growing up, friends that I went to school with, teachers. Much to their chagrin, I'd always have a big wad of keys with me everywhere I went, and had them taken away during class in more than one occasion. But I'll be going over my collection. I've recently acquired several of these containers over here. These tool bin organizers. I picked up 3 of them during that Amazon Prime Day or whatever, but have all my key rings here. Or memorable one includes this Emerson, probably my favorite key ring is an Emerson. I just love the look of it, and I don't know if it's pewter or not, but it looks like it, and it has an Emerson Northwind on it. So we'll start off in alphabetical order. I've got A-Bus, Acura, Alfa Romeo, American Motors, Arrow with the flat top, Arrow with the round top, Atlas, Audi, Best bicycle, and now this is actually from my old bike lock I had when I lived in Colorado. Don't know what happened to the lock. Had 2 keys, and I think I lost that key and then subsequently found it. But got BMW, Briggs and Stratton, Chrysler ignition, Chrysler trunk, Chrysler two-sided, and then maybe there's probably some Jeep and Ram and everything else mixed into these. This is actually a used to keep these in your car. I think this is, I don't know what this is from, but or in your wallet, I should say. You got the colored keys, you know, the Alumilite or whatever. These ones are commercial, you know, just anything that looks to be forklifts or whatever. Corbin defects, you know, ones that I've had run over by trains, etc. Ones that are just broken. Yeah, that was sort of a favorite pastime. I'd hang up at tracks in town, and when the train would come by, I would anyway, yeah, I'd get Dexter Diamond, which is a Chinese company, Eagle, Elgin, Easy Set, Fiat. These ones I just categorized as flat. Ford ignition, including some of these old Model T keys, which I think that's everything. Here's one for a Ford Taurus. Goes to a Ford Probe. It's broken and it appears to have been taped back together. Ford trunk. These are two-sided, like newer Fords. You know, it's to a Mercury. Some of these newer ones. These are the PAT system, it's called. There's a Ford Probe right here, which is actually a Mazda key. Ford and Mazda. You know, some of the Mazdas were actually Ford, or some of the, yeah, you know, they used rebadged Mazdas rebadged as you know, Fords, like the Escort, some of the Escorts anyway used Mazda engines and so forth. We'll get into that later when I go into the blanks, but here we have Fortress, Freightliner. I used to work for a Freightliner dealership, so I acquired a number of keys while I was there. Gas keys, GM ignition, GM trunk and door, GM two-sided. Now, if you know what this key is to, this is actually a very unusual key. It was only to one GM vehicle. If you can tell me what it is, you'll win. I don't know what you'll win, but you'll win something. Not the key, though. I'm keeping that. Now, these ones I just call Grandma, because my grandmother gave me, you know, these are, I think, to her 80, not her 84, or 80, what was it, 83 Buick Regal. This must have been to her 90 LeSabre, that's it. And, yeah, those are 94 LeSabre keys. And a whole bunch of vintage keys that she gave to me when I was a kid, but also we had found cleaning out her estate. These bit guitars, Holly-made Honda, Hudson, it's a lock company, not Hudson the car, Hyundai, I don't know, I just call these Ilco, the ones with the 3 little knobs on the top. Looks like a squirrel or something. These, whatever these are, Infinity, to infinity and beyond. Isuzu, the Japanese sneeze. Jaguar, G-Co, Kawasaki, Kia. Kia. Tell Kia's influence with Hyundai here. Quickset, Lexus, Master, Mazda, Medico, Mercedes, Mitsubishi, all kinds of old Mitsubishi keys in here. Moose, what's that? National, more National, Nissan, all kinds of cool Nissan keys. One of the 300ZX. Some of these old Datsun keys once they switched over to Nissan. Yeah, these. Porsche, and you can tell Volkswagen's influence with the Porsche keys. Take a look at a Porsche key, and then you take a look at a Volkswagen key. Tell it's basically the same thing. Some of the older Porsche keys look like that. You have Renault. Or Renault, as some people say, makes me cringe every time I hear that. I have enough French Canadian in my bloodstream that it just like, no, that's not how it's pronounced. Russ Wynn, Saab, real Saab story, safe deposit box. We have Sergeant, Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Schlager, or Slage, or Schlag, or whatever the hell you call this. I think it's Schlager myself, but Scion, Skeleton Keys, Slaymaker, Subaru. These have come. This one here actually has the light that still works. I think they came out with these for the '89 Legacy. Suitcase. These ones I just call Tiny. Titan, Toyota, and a whole bunch of Toyota. Tubular, little Chapman lock keys, whatever. US lock. Yeah, no need to even say what these ones are. This one's popped out of its shell. Antique Volkswagen, Volvo, wafer keys, Wiser, more Wiser. I'm more wiser than I was when I started collecting these, but I digress. Off-center Yale keys mostly. Yale round keys, little round keys, big round keys, these shaped keys. Those shaped keys, look, file cabinet or whatever. These things, whatever these are, they're pretty much the same, only one's brass and one is silver coated. Random keys, and here this is to a Daewoo. Does anyone remember them? These kind of came and went. Can you remember the last time I've seen a Daewoo in the wild? This was actually, these ones are tools. They all look like they serve a purpose. They go to something. This was to a pair of shoes I had when I was in the 8th grade. They were called Soaps. They had a little grinding pad on the bottom. You could jump up against the curb, and that pair of shoes caused many bruises. This goes to a hotel, I presume. Now, these are all keys of historical significance to me. These were to a place I used to work. This to my mother's Chrysler Sebring, long gone. These are my grandmother's house. We called Patsby. She didn't live on the beach, but we called them that just as a diversion in case anybody ever stole them. This was the spare my uncle gave me to his 1995 Mercury Sable. These were all keys I had when place I used to work. I had a bunch of copies made. There's an International box truck, a couple of keys to the International, an older International box truck. And yeah, just some various locks we had around, lockers and stuff. This was a set that I had way back when. I think that's my mother's Sebring padlock that I had. Not entirely sure what this goes to. But anyway, into another padlock, and a couple went to my Subies. Let's see. Yeah, just a bunch. I had my F-150, I think, my 84 F-150. I had a whole bunch I had cut, specially custom cut for my 91 Sedan DeVille. I was a private chef for 3 Jesuit brothers when I was in college, and this is the key to their monastery. Somehow I forgot to give it back to them. It was not intentional, I don't know. It was actually a place I worked when I was a limo driver. Had a key cut place. Ooh, I think that's my mother's Sebring as well. And just some old ones I've had since I was a kid. I think these ones are yeah, the 2 do not duplicate are in my old college dorm. That went to my mother's Sebring, as did that. I think these went to my 91 Plymouth Acclaim, and that went to my 90 Grand Caravan. That I found in the bulkhead, so that was an old... I don't know what that went to. That appears to be a hotel, Hyatt Regency, Chicago. My 90 Grand Caravan. This went to my Toyota pickup. Another key to the Sebring. My 2002 Jeep Wrangler I turned in. I kept the original keys. And then a whole bunch of, keys to my uncle's Sable. My neighbor's Hyundai Excel. Now that I get into the blanks here, here's a rare blank. What's wrong with this picture? It's a Ford key that says Mazda. That's to a Mazda Navajo. These are a Thunderbird. These are Renault keys. Got those from my old box trucks. I was gonna this for work. A whole bunch of locks I'll get into later. And then these over here, I just couldn't bring myself to parting with the rings. They all just seemed so perfect on the rings there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Good night and good luck.